Hi Gemini, welcome to I Am Destiny Calling Tarot and welcome to your weekly reading. This reading is going to cover the time frame of February the 16th through February 22nd. So let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be your energy oracle card. So this is going to provide the overall energies here in this reading today. So please keep in mind, this is a general reading for the Gemini collective. So if you're noticing things not resonating, it simply means that particular message was not meant for you, and that's okay. It's a pretty general reading, so it's for many people. Also, dates here. You might notice things resonating a few days or weeks before and after, just because really they're only guidelines. I use them to know where I'm at from week to week to post the videos. So keep that in mind as well. And here's your card. It came out as take note of intuitive messages. I'm very much sensing that there is there's some form of intuitive messages that are coming your way. For some reason, I'm sensing that at this time, it's not that you're ignoring them. I'm sensing that you feel it's a drag to have to follow certain things that your intuition is telling you, if that makes sense. I'm feeling that there's going to be some form of occasion, situation, something that's happening in the near future for you that's really going to kind of test your faith, and it's going to be a situation where you're really going to need to kind of step back and reevaluate where you're at, what you're doing, and where you're going, if that makes sense. All right, so we're going to ask that Spirit please provide clarifying details for Gemini. Spirit, what clarifying messages can you send forward for Gemini? This is to cover the time frame of February 16th through February 22nd. Spirit, what messages can you send forward for Gemini? Okay. All right, let's get started on your reading, guys. We have first card up. We have Cups. We have Queen of Cups. This card is a sensitivity card. It's really very much encouraging you at this time. When you're making decisions at this time, you're really encouraged to use more of an emotional approach to guide you in the best direction at this time. So really it's asking you to tune into more of your nurturing side. I think that has been lacking a bit, and that's why it's coming out here in the reading. So overall, this card is significant or representative of sensitive, compassionate, someone who's gentle and loving, openly loving towards family, friends, partners, someone who really is loyal and inspiration. Um, so overall, it's really coming up here in this reading to remind you of the importance of focusing on your relationships, focusing on children, and sharing with friends at this time. Um, I'm going to move on. And that's basically where we're at to begin the reading. Three of Swords is the next card. All right, we have so this does symbolize heartache. It I don't necessarily think it is a breakup or a situation where you're in a relationship and you're heartbroken in that sense. There's some other form of heartbreak here. This is not a major arcana card, it's a minor arcana card, so it's not as drastic as it would be if it was a major. So it's not a lot of grieving. It's not deep, deep heartache here. It's more or less a sense of disappointment. And it very well could be in a relationship as far as a friend or an acquaintance. It could also be regarding a career, a job position. I'm mostly sensing here that this is relating to stress or anxiety or fear. I am definitely tapping into some anxieties here. But the good thing is, with this card coming out, it's going to allow you to really, unfortunately, by having to feel the pain in a matter, you do also see the truth in a matter. So at least you have that to back you up, and knowing that the situation has happened for a reason. I think it's more or less just getting your head straight, knowing where to direct your attention at this time. Two of Swords. So this is where you come to a crossroad. So a lot of doubt here and uncertainty and possible indecision, feeling stuck or blocked. You're disconnected at this time. It feels as though you're disconnected from the self and following your intuition. So if you're seeing symbolic messages and you're not particularly happy with what they're trying to tell you, you're really just allowing yourself to be disconnected so that you can, in a sense, ignore those messages. So there's definite, there's a feeling as though, regardless of what it is that you're doing at this time, you can't win. The situation also that you could find yourself in at this time could very much be something that is your own making, but it might also be something that is completely out of your control. Either way, I'm very much sensing here that it's about perspective. So you really need to step back and take a look at the situation as if you're an outsider. What would you see if you were an outsider looking in on the situation? The way that you react to a certain thing, the way that you're perceiving a certain thing, the way that you're thinking about a certain situation, the Intention is very key here. That's a really, really, really big message for specific people. This is very much directing you towards having a big breakthrough here in your form of thinking. And that can be so, so powerful. All right, next card, Eight of Wands. So this is very much telling me that I'm hearing running around in circles. This is kind of where you're in a block, or you're stuck, or you're disconnected at this time. So at this time, it really is going to be so, so important for you to not waste your precious energy on things that are negative, things that are potentially going to bring you down, things that are not productive for your mind. Again, it's all about finding out what works best for you as far as staying grounded, really, and allowing yourself to continually tap into that intuition. The King of Cups is symbolic of understanding. So this is very much telling you at this time to follow your emotions. Don't feel as though you have to explain your emotions to anyone, and you can certainly trust at this time especially that your emotions are right. They're definitely not misleading you in any way. Again, this is also very much symbolic, specifically in this reading, that it's so, so important at this time that you're focusing on friends, family. I'm also hearing be fair to yourself. Be fair to yourself. I'm not sure what that particular message is relating to. That's likely a message for a specific individual, to be fair to yourself. All right, next card we have is Eight of Cups. This is a card of change. So this is, again, you following your heart. This is exactly the right time for you to make a commitment to yourself on an emotional, on an emotional level. Basically, by doing that at this time, you're really allowing yourself to have a very low drum period, and you're not going to be set up with any type of moral struggle. I'm very much sensing here that you're ready for change. It seems as though you've been, like I said, on that, how do I say? You've just been going around in the same circle, round and round and round and round, and you're kind of ready to get off the roller coaster, and you're very much ready to take a new journey. You're ready for change. Some of you are thinking about a night away or a weekend away, just to get a change of scenery, a change of pace, to really reset your mind, to reset your intentions. Are you really serving yourself at this time? That's a really big message. Are you deep down content? King of Swords. This is an ambition card. So this is you really stepping up here. This is you finding the strength, making decisions, okay, and very much relying upon a calm mind. I find that your logical thinking has kind of been scattered. So this is a card which is symbolic here. That is changing. So you're going to come into an equal balance of mind and heart space, if that makes sense. All right, last card we have is the Six of Swords. This, guys, this is symbolic of calm. This card basically means calm. So you do have calm coming in. This is going to allow you really to not resist any changes at this time. This is a card of protection as well. So you're really coming into a very peaceful period here. You may have been in a place where you've suffered some uncertainty recently. It's really about you prioritizing what's important to you. Also leaving behind people or situations that no longer serve you. This is a really, really big message. This is huge. This is you. This is you taking care of the self. This is you understanding that you are worthy of having this calm, having this peace. And like I said, it's a very big message for those of you who are coming to an understanding here that your intuition is likely telling you that you need to either leave people or situations or both that aren't serving you at this point. And if you're not looking to cut them out of your life, you want to definitely decrease the amount of time and energy you're putting into them. So like I say, at this time, so important that you're listening to your intuition, because your intuition, gut feeling, and instincts, as much as you maybe don't like what they're telling you in a sense, and you're kind of rebelling against it, it's never going to steer you wrong. And it might be uncomfortable for the changes in the short term, but the long term, it's really in order to get you to that happy, calm, peaceful, serene place that you deserve to be at. All right, so that is the end of your reading for this week, Gemini. I'm going to go ahead and get an inspirational message. This is going to allow us to kind of end the reading on a happy note. And ask that Spirit please provide one additional message for Gemini. Spirit, one additional message you would like to have come forward for Gemini. what additional message at this time? Here is your message. All right, it says, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. That's a pretty long message there. Overall, though, guys, really another indication here in this reading that it's all about your perception at this time. So really stepping back and kind of seeing things as the outside observer to your situation. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. So if there is fear and anxiety at this time, definitely allow yourself to step back, to calm your mind, to calm the chatter, to calm the what ifs, to calm all of the just negative self-talk here. Allow yourself to really take a good look at the situation as though you were the outsider of the situation. Really get that different perspective here. And then if all else fails, you know deep down, you already have the answers through listening to your intuition. So it might be a matter of tapping into that. It might be that you've been disconnected in a way and really focusing on finding your way back to not necessarily being in a situation where you're doing things for the wrong reasons. You want to be doing them for truly deep down things that are making your heart feel a sense of joy, right? Because that feeling of joy is where you're going to be creating a beautiful life for yourself. And you are so deserving of that. And you don't want to disconnect yourself from your personal power, right? All right, so that is the end of your reading for this week, Gemini. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to thank each and every one of you who watch these videos. I do so deeply appreciate that. I can't even express how much it means to me. I would love to have you come back from week to week, so if you haven't already, please go ahead, click on like and subscribe.